The Necromancer monkey. Anybody remember this modded tower? Check out the first video I did on this on the card here, or in the description if you missed it. But just to give you a quick 10-second summary of this tower, well, it has 15 upgrades, very interesting ones, just as you can tell by the icons here. A lot of them very unique, and I enjoyed it so much that I'm going to give it a part 2. This time, we're going to try to beat Elite Lich. Try to tackle the Undead boss with the Undead Tower, and this is actually a pretty interesting map for a boss, because, as you can see, there are no farms. So, I think the challenge here is going to be to try to beat Lich, I think using only those Necromancer monkeys. First things first, I can at least drop my Geraldo NFT. Let's do it for round 4 here. Luckily though, the Necromancer does come equipped with a money-making upgrade for the 3rd tier. However, it does take a bit to save up for. It's pretty much the only cheap farming option I have here though, especially since there's not even any water. I could go for the Bloom Trap, but it's also a little bit early for that, so let's just go ahead and get our Necromancer so we stop dying to these rounds here. Right in the corner. At base, it does a pretty decent amount of damage. As you see, pretty fast attack speed with, I think it's a little explosion radius of skulls after every attack here. So it is the bottom path that we want. Necro Reach gives you attack range. This one gives you more pop power in a larger radius. I feel like without conventional farming, though, it's going to be so bad. Especially because, like, it doesn't... this is not very efficient when you get just one upgrade on it. If you just want to take a look at Spear Ritual. It gives you $500 every single round. Which for a cost of, how much does it cost to get this guy up? Probably like 8k. It's actually decent efficiency, but it takes so long to get up that I lose so much just making 0 money for the first 27 rounds in the first place. Luckily, I could probably sell the NFT to get maybe the ball rolling. So round 30, let's sell the NFT. I'll get one of these. I still think, actually, is it Balloon Trap worth it if it only eats up half the balloons? Honestly, I'm gonna go on a whim and say nah. Let's discount 2 because it's tier 3 towers. And I suppose I'll try to get working on my second spiritual. Sign tells me I'm not going to have enough damage to beat tier 1 Lich with only, the spirits. Or rather Necromancer, because I believe top path is the one that does the most DPS. But even that I don't think is good enough against tier 1, especially on a map like this. What was I even thinking? I guess a head start would help. Let's just see though. So we have 5k going into it. Let me take a gander at how close I am. I'm still quite a bit off of Race Undead, which, as you see, summons Ghosts of Quincy. Seeing how fast Lich is moving, this was a terrible spot to put it in. Let's put it in discount range so we can actually afford it right now. And that damage is simply not good enough. As I said, it's likely not the most efficient thing to do boss damage switch. So let's actually go back and let's just use Sticky Bomb. The conventional stuff. Even that, it's probably gonna still be hard with the, again, terrible farming I have. It's our only shot, though, unfortunately, so let me see how I want to do this. I probably need a Sticky Bomb to survive this. Like the Lich Soul, that is. I'll use a mobile. Oh, right, Chain Moabs. What do here? Well, I could use that trick where it backed out and back in the game, which I will do. Let's see here. Maybe I'll try to save the Mob Assassin ability for, the chain. Waiting for this to pop. Nope. Well, I survived, but I'm not taking that. Alright, my only option is selling off some of these undeads. It'll have me drain some HP, or gain back HP, but it is what it is. 2 stickies and an assassin, please. I'll try to see if I can drop a 3rd sticky along the way here. I'm definitely gonna need it. Come on, there we go. Popped and popped, but this is so scuffed and I have no money to work with. On that note, I'm also dead to the freaking AI balloons here because the Necromancer, I sold 2 of them off, so now I don't have any damage to work with. Oh, this is really bad. Alright, upon retrying 10 billion times, I think I will officially have deemed this map impossible. At least with Necromancer money, because this is the roughest thing I've ever had to deal with. I got a, Druid now just to catch some leakers, but Lich is simply moving too fast, and look at... It's going the other side, too. You gotta be kidding me. It's Jover. I think the only thing I can do here is start with a nice little caster up. Don't mind if I do, just to get a head start. I feel like if a boss was ever released in Minute Mansion, they would have to reduce the difficulty severely because of lack farms. I think I'm even in a good enough spot here that I don't even need to sell the NFT for, round 30. In fact, there's maybe a chance I could get it or keep it past tier 1, therefore saving up money for the later tiers is going to be even easier. I think I'll get up to, what is that, 7 Spirit Rituals. And I think that'll leave us enough money to work with. So it looks like we only get money at the start of the round, which is different than end of round. There we go. Nice fat injection of monies. If only I didn't beat the Lich Soul like this early. But that's actually good. I don't have any, what do you call it, Moabs spawning. Because we beat it so fast this time, that's actually a good thing. Now, the only problem, the round still hasn't ended. Okay, we actually somehow beat it. Wow, I don't know. I guess Sticky Bomb's OP. I got 3 of them now, though. Whoops, I actually should have gone for an Assassin, but I have it now. 3 Stickies, and this. No shot, this ain't enough. Unless Chain Mobs come from the other side. Remember. That is why, again, I have the Mob Assassin ability. Wait for it. Let me wait for... Crap. That's not what I want to do. Let's retry last round. Okay, I just need to pop this Lich Soul earlier, so I'm gonna drop panic drop this thing. Please pop. It always targets the Lich Soul every time, that's the problem. Now, I would do a heli pilot, but there's no space for it. So let's try the following. I didn't mean to get relentless, but that works too. I didn't mean to... So, what if we stall, please? Lich Soul... doesn't even activate in time. Alright, again. Oh, we survived. Wow. I used it just in time, I think. And there's no way we shouldn't have enough with, I think, 3 Sticky Bombs, 2 Assassins. So I'm gonna get 2 of these. This is a round I gotta back out in, because the Chain Mobs are annoying. And I dead-ended, because the round starts on Rifle 5, and it saved right here, bruh. No way. Again, boss rounds are bugged, because this is modded. So I cannot retry from the round I originally died on. Let me see if I can... I think a Maim Mob could save me. Quickly, Maim? Oh, I got it. Wow. I think that's all we need. Hopefully we don't have another one spawning on, like, the right side. Otherwise I'm screwed. Again, those cash drops came in handy. If not for that, I cannot buy all this defense for tier 1. Definitely going to be the hardest tier, and the problem with stalling that long is that now Lich is, like, really far forward. Do I have enough in the tank to, like, finish it off? Oh, no, I am not. Holy, guys, this is... Alright, ignore me. I got desperate. That's why there's mob mines on the field in the exit. Because apparently I need even more help. Again, Lich in a freaking nutshell. It's gotta be one of the roughest bosses there is. Hopefully, 2 overdrives and an embrittlement in the back can, like, clean up, which I think it can. Final Skull, and... I think it's finally... GG. Only took, yeah, however many rounds that took. But the great news is that we did it without having to sell the NFT. I guess I could have done that, but just made it a little bit harder for myself, and also cheated by using powers, but it's all good. It's a modded map, or modded game, at the end of the day. So the thing with these Necromancers is that they stack 10 times, but you can still do more than 10 of them, like the money that is. It just caps out at 1k per, similar to, I guess, Central Market. So therefore, I'm gonna find every nook and cranny I can find on this map, possibly, and just stick a 003 Necromancer in there. Starting from here, for example. Looks like we're making about a 18 times 1,000. 18,000 per round. Now the question is for tier 2 here, do you think I can get away with using Necromancer DPS, or should I just play it safe and do the conventional? I think I should just do the conventional. Also, I pinky promised this is my absolute last Necromancer. I should just get Attack Zone plus Super Riddle over here. Let's wait, though. First things first, just show you off the middle path here. We're looking at tier 3, Lifesteal. It executes non-Moabs, which... Oh, right, I do need lives. I just remembered. This is good. I should have gotten this way earlier. Fatal Fate here marks a moat for death. However, I don't think it works in bosses, so I'm just going to forego it for now. And come on, please end up around 60 here so I can actually get some damage in, okay? Wait, how come I only made 11k? It said 1,000 times 31. Oh, crap, it might have been a lie then. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. Like the visual. Because it says, when it does that, it looks like it means one thing, but it's actually the other. Well, crap. Here's a Brittle. Here's Attack Zone. Can we salvage this? I will have to sell 6 more of these. This isn't going to work now, is it? I just got an Elim. But, Chain Mobs, man. They pack a punch. Alright, I just went back to 61 here. Why don't we just go all in on, I don't know, the Necromancer? Maybe that will end up being our Lord and Savior. If I had known, or if I had looked carefully, I guess I wouldn't have gone that. Empower and Dead. So basically, let's summon Sada. Unfortunately, I don't think Sada is good enough for this. Looking at that damage there, even on strong, it is not enough. You guys know what we could use here? Probably just a freaking Mad. I don't know. Mad plus Overclock. Ladies and gentlemen, the world's most scuffed defense is here. I believe the, what do you call it? The Mad can still shoot over, like, one of the missiles, just based on the angle it's currently at. Am I going to need... I'm gonna need an Elim here. Oh, I also just realized that the freaking fire on this map, guys, Mid-Dimension's insane. This blocks the line of sight, so I don't do any damage to the Lich here. So, it can't be Mad. What's it gonna be then? Oh, I can do this. There's a space for an Ace on Mid-Dimension, I believe. I have to get rid of the, what do you call it? The one Necro there. Big Plane. My last resort. I mean, this thing basically bypasses all of those fires and has global range and does nutty damage. I think we have enough in the tank. I could also Alch buff it because Lich is not global range right now. We're also going to divert to sniper farming now since there is a cap on, apparently a cap on the Spear Rituals. Hopefully it isn't too late to divert the strategy. Also, Flying Fortress may not beat this because Lich moves so damn fast. Isn't that sad? Let's do an Brennan to help out, but it might be a little too late. Methinks, yup. With 3 skulls left, I'm gonna do one more restart here. Main difference this time is I think I'll do double overclock, although I didn't afford it, so maybe I could get it quickly after 63 here, and also just keep changing the targeting. Actually, Wing Monkey, right? Right, Ring Monkey. Basically keeps us as close to Lich as possible. Here's a second overclock. Alright, come on. One more skull after this one. That is going to come down really to the wire. One last quick embrittlement here, maybe the +1. Will do the job, and it did. Nice. Midnight Mansion, again, the hardest map for a boss ever. Good riddance. Now for the next 15 rounds here. Spam snipers. I guess to be space efficient, Spirit of the Forest makes me lives, which is good. Right, I was supposed to get... Well, lifesteal still is doing stuff, but it's pretty slow at gaining lives. Oh yeah, one more great thing with the Sniper Synergy is that the Rejuve resets all the abilities of the Sniper, and thus gets you basically 2 abilities at once, and also resets it such that I can put them all in unison because of that Elite Sniper change. Look at that. 19 crates all at once, just pressing one button. Things you love to see it. Let's do it one more time now for 25 star abilities, and we should be well on our way to possibly take down Lich with a, what do you call it? One of these Necromancers here. $75,000, now let's save. So let's go ahead and get the top path tier 5 right about here. I will buy Ritual Leader because this gains 10% attack speed for every Necromancer in the range. So although you saw the tier 4 kind of was slow, I didn't even do the 10% attack speed, so that could have actually, there was a chance it could have worked. Okay, so 2 more Ritual Leaders here to finish off at 10 stacks. I believe you can get higher than 10, but that might be either visual or unintended. I'll just leave it at 11 though for the funsies, so getting Paragon die. I still need money for Siege the Underworld. Okay, let's just get one of these. Do I have a Rejuve potion? I do not, sadly. Okay, maybe after the end of 81, please give me a Rejuve. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Hopefully it's not too late to buy this. Basically, it just gives more damage. Greatly increases the power of all undead, even from other Necromancers. Speaking of which, I should just build tier 4s because it buffs that too. And how's the DPS looking now? Well, I think it was going down really fast from what I saw. 10k to me seems pretty fast for a 100k tower. With no buffs at that, which I can't do, of course, because Lich exists. Now let's just hope we can beat Lich before it gets out of range here. We're not going to have enough range here, are we? I just realized we can do Necro Reach. But right, it's the... what do you call it? I'm dead to this, aren't I? I'm dead to Lich Soul because of the line of sight blocker in the middle. Oh, actually, we just tanked it or something like that. I don't know. But this kind of sucks. Let me just show you what happens if I buy or sell this. It's going to be so much weaker without the tier 4s. I'm out of money also. When did that happen? Okay, how much does the entity sell for? 125k. That's not as much as I expected. Okay, I'm gonna have to restart here once again. Maybe the key is another of the tier 5s, because I believe Ultimate Sacrifice is really OP. We're still 150k off, so maybe I'll sell off some towers. Let's see. I'm not going for middle tier 5, because you'll see in a second, if you haven't seen already, how mid it is. Although, specifically, I'm talking about the boss. You know what? I'm gonna just sell that NFT. At most, I think it gains 100k. I'm just gonna Ultimate Sacrifice. Unfortunately, the ability cooldown is very long, so... is it even gonna save me? Please tell me it does. Basically, it just uses my lives to create a massive burst of damage. Let's give it a go here. Here we go. Did it just move... Wait, did it just move Lich backwards? I hope it wasn't just me that was seeing that. But holy crap, that's... that's a fast one. The only problem is that it doesn't last the whole cooldown, so... luckily, I have Rejuve Potion for that. Just one of them, but I do have resets. Yep, it's gone now. Do I use Rejuve? Actually, no, it's not gone. It's gone. It's back. It's back. Now it's gone. Now I'll Rejuve to activate again, and also get 40k. And I think also, wait, why can't I get back NFT? I should be able to get it, because I already used it up, that's weird. And unfortunately, only 2 abilities will get me down to 3 8s, but I need one more Rejuve. I guess I can just, you know what? I'll buy it. That gets me 2 Rejuves and guarantees I beat tier 3. 1 now, and again, and another fat water cache. This is the way, folks, this is the way. I just noticed, because I'm losing lives here, each sacrifice gets weaker and weaker, but it is enough to finish off Lich. Come on, I'm waiting for it to come back. I don't want to have to use another one of these. Nope, it's not coming back. Alright, fine. One more. And there it is. Now, I'm not going to drop Paragon Totems because the money is pretty tight. My NFT is also back to afford, so there we go. I'm not sure if Ultimate Sacrifice is enough for tier 4, considering I don't have the level 20 power spike anymore, where, you know, I think I used like 4 Rejuves for tier 3 there, and that was barely enough, but hopefully maybe getting tier 5 with 11 boosts, and this is good enough, because I'm not getting the Paragon by around 100, that's for sure. And again, just to show you the middle path, what it does, Death is Among Us, it basically just executes the balloons at a higher HP, but from what I've seen, what I've quickly tested, it sadly does not work on the boss. I also think spamming these tier 3s isn't really worth it, because we're getting more lives by just by using the Rejuve Potion and by the passive of the Spirit. Also, I think one last Rejuve Potion here, but now we gotta stock up for around 100. I think we had 55. Actually, maybe at 56 and 57? Nope, only 56. I'll just replace it with this since it's not needed. I guess don't underestimate Sniper plus Geraldo farming too, because we have, I feel like if I sell everything, we could be close to the Paragon, because it's only, I can buy Death is Among Us here, 1.5 million, the Deathbringer. Now we shall begin bringing death to Lich. So, use Sacrifice, 242 life sacrificed. Oh wait, did I use it too early? I did, didn't I? I think it has to be in range, hang on. Alright, waiting for the range, here we go. Oh, it knocks back Lich. Okay, that's why we didn't do damage there. That's interesting. Now it's doing damage because it's in range. Gotcha. I'll use the Death is Among Us, but as you see, it doesn't work on the boss. It would be nice, though. I do think... I think that animation means it is on Lich, but I don't think it actually one-shots it. I guess we can see it if it ever gets to, like, 40% HP. Anyways, we can use a Rejuve now. Another sacrifice. Only 31 lives this time. But it is enough, guys. It is enough. 59 more cast drops. So 2 of them got us down to, once again, the 3/8 mark. So I think we're going to miss a little bit just by the end here. Also, take a look at the DPS of the tier 5 top path. It's 10k. That's not anything to scoff at, but I guess it's not good enough. Here we go. Let's use the final sacrifice. 102 lives this time. Frankly, I really don't think it makes a difference, because we're just... The biggest problem is that we're waiting between the cooldown for this thing. And come on, please come back. If the spirits don't come back, I think we're still fine. Are we fine, actually? I don't know. I'll get a quick Seer Brutal over here. We're not fine, guys. We're not fine. Okay, quickly. What do we do? Can I fit a Genie somewhere? Bit of damage to squeeze in, sure. That is Among Us again. Down to 300k. I think the tier 5 here is still doing decent damage, although it's out of range now. Come on, we're so close to beating it. What do I do? Actually, nothing. There's a thing here. If this thing's about to exit, it does activate. But let me just see first if it activates from boss. Otherwise, it's a rip. Actually, I have the ability right now, come on. Alright, I knocked it back, but again, it's out of range, so it doesn't do damage. And there's line of sight. Oh, wait, 50k? Oh, no, it worked. Well, that was lucky as frick. And now it's only tier 5, and I think the Paragon should take us home. Again, I'll just take whatever degree it gives me. Let's just use one last rejuve potion here. For one last burst. Should I do one more? Yes, it does come back in time. Burst to 60. And let's start the massive sell-off. So will the Deathbringer bring death to Lich? Find out here. Let's get it. Should be... okay, 61. I guess we didn't get 16.2 million pops because, well, there's not enough of that even with Lich here. But that's the Paragon, folks. It is sexy and colorful, right? Shoots flame, shoots those giant, I don't know, whatever beams they are that fly across the map. I will note it is pretty leggy, though. Especially once it gets to later rounds, but I'm thinking it should be enough. Let's take a look. I fast-forwarded too fast there, but I think... oh, yeah. New ranked meta just dropped, guys. It does, like, 1 million damage to every single, whatever beam attack that is there. That's the kind of power we're looking at. Definitely a little bit overpowered for its cost, but that's to balance out how insane, I guess, getting to this point was. And again, mods are not meant to be balanced. They're meant to be fun. And OP, just like this guy. And indeed, it didn't quite take 0.001 seconds. That's because Lich is more than just a simple little balloon. But definitely took it down pretty quickly. Nice. Honestly, the reward slash payoff for that run was pretty brief, considering how quickly you took it down. So let's just do a quick sandbox test, because I want to see what exactly, or how exactly strong this thing is. So round 300 FBAD, that's for degree 1. Indeed, not quite balanced. That was fast. Basically, from what I observed earlier, this thing doesn't have that mark from the Among Us middle path upgrade does. Like, you still have to do all 100% of the FBAD to pop down, so it looks like for the round 500 one, we can't beat it. As I said, this thing gets very laggy, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Now, what happens with the Among Us? I'll use it now, and we should be able to pop it very soon. You see some executed signs? Yep. No, it actually didn't work. Weird. We still have to take it down all the way to 0 on the bad there. Alright, this is not the Paragon now, but one more test I want to try was with the Ultimate Sacrifice. I never saw how it did against, like, when he had, like, no HP, like, for example, 2. Apparently, it takes away half your lives, I believe, if you are below 500. So, for example, you can just kind of have it every time. 150, 25, 13, and then down on one like that. So let me see how quickly this thing, how close this thing can get to Paragon levels just at the lowest. Okay, I guess obviously it's weaker, but really that's not that much weaker, given it's doing 50,000 damage a second, leaving a trail of fire behind the FBAT, almost enough to pop it, actually. Enough to pop it, but butt leaks a little bit. What if he had 1 life? Does it get any stronger? 0 life sacrifice? It is a bit weaker than the 1 life sacrifice, but really not by much. In fact, it popped it earlier, so... okay. And now again for another test, with a maxed sacrifice. How much earlier does it pop it? I noticed that, oh, I see that, I guess if you have enough max power, you knock it back instead. And you also do get more damage, as you see. It pops about, like, in half the time. Nice. So today we're going to be doing a boss battle on a modded map, Balloon of Clubs, and the main feature is going to be with a modded tower that I covered a while back. It's called the Robot Monkey. Check that video out if you missed it, but basically to summarize, this is a tower that uses lives to generate power, so basically it won't attack unless you give lives to it. So I've already have this round 30 set up here. And over here on the bottom, you can see the Robot Monkey and all its upgrades. Now, also in that video, I did not cover the Paragon because I said I would showcase it at a later date, and I guess that later date is now, almost a year later. So yeah, once again, thanks Zookoix for making this one. On top of that, there's also another tower to help out the Robot Monkey. That's the life farm. It basically just gives lives, that's it. It's not very useful in the early game though, because I think it's only 1 life every round, so I think we're better off doing the following. Selling you for an 014 balloon trap for extra monies, and then we'll just go ahead and discount village, buy a bunch of marketplaces, because these already give us money and a free life per pound, so that's basically just life farm but better. Anyways, I think it's time to start setting up that Robo Monkey. It's nice on this map, there's a nice curve that I can basically attack for the entire start of the track. Now, what cross path do I want, or path I want? I think the bottom path gives extra mold damage, because let me buy these two things here. These two aren't very useful, just a range and camo. But you see this one has more upkeep, but has more bomb power. I think the middle path is just less upkeep, which isn't that much damage. Top path is damage, but I think I prefer, you know, stable mob damage, right? Also very expensive. $11,000. I think I'll buy myself an AI here. And yeah, let's take a look at tier 4. So this one just attacks faster and deals even more mob damage. I think since, you know, normally for bosses, you sell your defense to get like a 20k tower. So that's pretty perfect, right? We'll just sell 3 marketplaces, actually 2 and a village to buy this. And I'm not sure if that's enough, so I'll just get an alpha buff soon, and I will use the ability. So 13 lives per, okay, that's actually quite a lot. Let's take a look at the damage though. Pretty solid, am I right? 100 every volley. Go ahead and give him more attack speed. Now the uptime of the ability of the tower when you sacrifice is like, I would guess 30 seconds. So, I mean, I have like many minutes worth of life to spare here. So we should have no problem here. Continuing to use that ability. Now, I didn't take into account SRAM damage, did I? No, I did not, sir. I think I'll have to restart this. Okay, so this time we have a bomb on the backside to help clean things up. And hopefully, if we have this one strong, that means more focus mob damage. Should help for an easier time here. I also, I guess, forgot about Geraldo's totems. That could be very useful too. Or rather, the Maelstrom. Let's see if I need it. I think I need it, yeah. I don't think one recursive was reliable enough there, was it? Yeah, not really. I think until we get more than just one recursive cluster drop, we're going to need to keep Maelstroming every single wave. Unfortunately, this thing doesn't restock fast enough, so let's see what I should get. I mean, I guess a Morglaives is never a bad choice, so how about a 402 right here? And we'll outbuff things too. Hopefully it should be enough. Come on. Yep, okay, I think there we go. We got it this time. And yeah, that mob damage isn't bad, but I guess for 20k, you kind of expect the tower to, you know, be able to do a big chunk to the ceramics too, because, yeah, in that case, I would have just gone Taxo, you know, but I guess it's maybe too much to ask for it to be the best mob damager, and, okay, that doesn't work apparently. Okay, I've got a very foolproof plan now. Ring of Fire plus Arc to Wind. Surely this should be enough blue damage, right? That we don't die. Yeah, who would have thunk? Fire and Ice turns out to be a pretty good combo now. Hopefully, the Bloonarius dies before it gets out of range of the Robo Monkey, because it's getting pretty darn far. Although I guess the range is really big, especially when you add Jungle Drums and Alpha Buff. It reaches all the way to the right side, so I guess it's not a big deal there. Let's just go back to farm real quick. And I think at long last, we are finally going to take down Bloonarius. Took long enough. 9 rounds, and I lost 100 lives, I think. Started off Bloonarius with like 180. So I'm going to keep these guys around, because they make money and lives. But now I'll sell you the BRF. And yeah, go on from there. Now, while the tier 4 Robot Monkey was good for tier 1 Bloonarius, I'm not sure if the tier 5 would be any good for tier 2. Because let's take a look here. Hive Mind. This thing is 50k and doesn't really do much other increased attack speed to other monkeys. So I think in that case, we might be better off maybe trying Top Path, which also takes away a lot of upkeep. I believe it's, yeah, plus 40. In no way do I have enough lives right now. 153 to be able to keep that up. But I guess we need to see the damage first. I doubt I'll end up keeping this run, but let me just see how much 420 with Overdrive and, or sorry, Overclock and Alpha Buff and Village does, so let's go. Oh, that damage is way better than actually a 204. Okay. Is that enough to be able to take down 300k HP, though? Well, definitely not, given that I don't have enough lives to do the uptime. Because, yeah, 2 or 3 more cycles and I'm gone, so it's like a minute or so. This is definitely an L. An L plus ratio, some might even say. So, 1 more ability, and okay, I have 1 more after this, but yeah, I'm still dead to the balloon, just way too many of them. So I think for tier 2, we'll just play normally, like a Mad or something like that, the very boring way. Actually, not a Mad, but rather an Avatar Wrath. And in fact, I might actually be able to use Robo Monkey plus Avatar Wrath to its advantage, because remember, this thing loses lives when you use the ability, and you know what's good for losing lives? The Avatar Wrath, because it gets more power. So that's pretty great. I guess I'll just get back the lives later anyways, just by dropping a hella bunch of life farms. So let's see. Right, this one requires more upkeep, so I don't want to spend too much, though. Okay, I'll do 203. This loses me 8 lives, so 8% more attack speed, just like that. And again, the great thing with After Wrath is just so much damage, it also cleans up all the BFB. So this, I would say, is a pretty cost-efficient option for Tier 2. And involving the Modern Monkey, too. Very nice. Who needs a Zealy when we have a Zealy at home? And in fact, this one's better, because the Zealy cooldown's so long. This one's like every 30 seconds. So we're losing a lot of lives here. Actually, I might be gaining back lives with Marketplace, but I think I'm still going down as a whole. That's still fine. And 10,000 years later, we're finally taking down Bluenaris. This is actually a pretty rough map for After Wrath, because it wasn't attacking for the entire time I was on the top side. And in the middle left, so it took quite a while for us to take down that. And now we can finally get B Central. Bit late on the farming, but it's okay. It is what it is. So I believe the Royal Paragon is 700k, so that's pretty much out of the equation for Tier 3. Definitely for Tier 4, though. For now, alongside, again, money farming, I gotta get some lives, so... Light Factory, I could have probably used the money for a nice BRF, but I guess I needed the lives round, because I think I can still use the Tier 5s for, well, Tier 3, so I'm gonna need a lot of them. Gotta say, Light Farming is looking pretty nice, and all I needed was a Tier 3 Light Factory. Guess I'll go ahead and buy this one now. 200 lives year round, so we shouldn't have to worry about upkeep ever again. So, again, definitely a top path Tier 5. Robot Rampage, I believe it's what it's called. Oh, that's Tier 4. But yeah, Tier 5 here is pretty cracked. 55 upkeep, but yeah, a lot of damage. So I'll go ahead and buy a range first off, and it looks like I need to sell quite a bit for it. How about we start the round, make a little bit of money. Guess I'll sell the Wall Street for it, and let's go. Let's see how much damage it does, guys. And, well, so far that's pretty good. Like, 5k DPS, I'm thinking. Of course, we'll go ahead and outbuff it, and, right. I should go ahead and go for the Hive Mind ability. So, if you read it carefully, towers in range gain increased attack speed greatly, so... I'm not sure if you have to keep, or have the upkeep be there for it to do damage, but I guess we'll find out. Again, not that lives really matter, so... It's not too bad of a deal if I do have to do that now. Again, I gotta keep... Maybe I should just tech bot it, yeah. Where is the tech bot when you need it? That way you don't have to worry about clicking it. We can just get it to keep doing damage. And so far the damage is... Yeah, it's really good. We've already gotten one skull down also. Crap, I gotta put it on first for DDTs. Don't die. Thank you, Mib. Yeah, holy crap, this thing is absolutely shredding. I'll leave the Hive Mind first, actually. Just to clean up the ceramics here. For an 80k tower, definitely worth more than its price, but I guess you gotta keep in mind, too, that, well, the massive life upkeep makes it, well, it has to be stronger in that case, right? I guess, again, since lives don't matter, we're just getting free power for pretty much zero cost, which is very cool. Already well over halfway before Bluenaris got, like, a third of the track in. If just a couple buffs on a Tier 5 does this much, then yeah, I'm pretty sure the Paragon will shred Tier 4 and 5, but I guess we'll see exactly when the time comes. Make sure to overclock it again. And yeah, GG easy for Tier 3 Bluenaris. I'm kind of lazy to sell this guy or untech bot it, so maybe what I'll do is, how much is the Platinum Lives? 900 per round for 80k. I guess since I have pretty much infinite money at this point, might as well go for that, so that I don't have to worry about it. So keep in mind this will probably be a makeshift Paragon for Tier 4, meaning I want, or I'll probably get a higher degree for Tier 5. Unfortunately, either my farming is messed up, or I did something wrong, because I feel like I should have more money than 474k coming into around 100, but I guess I'll sell a couple farms for it. Not the worst thing in the world. Okay, let's see, I'm 150k short. I guess I could sell the Wall Street and the Central. Yeah, I'll do that. Do I want to get any other Royal Monkey upgrades just to maybe up the degree a little bit? You know what, we'll do like a couple 022s. I think these are the cheapest. These are the cheapest things you can do to up your degree, just the tiniest bits. So always worth doing if you do have extra time. I'm running out of time though, so let me just go for it. With 3 million pops and a bit of that, how much degree is it? 36, very solid. Okay. So I'm also kind of curious, is there any uptime with this guy? Because it seems like there's no ability, so I think it's just up all the time. I also didn't read the description, so let's see. The most powerful machine ever created no longer resembles the monkeys it has once tried to mimic. Okay, that makes more sense. It's just completely different than its subordinates. So let me go ahead and clear the screen a little bit so you can see the Royal Monkey in action. Wait a minute, I think, guys, might have a little bit of a bug, because that looks like an 8-bit Dark Monkey sprite. Yeah, this is part of the mod pack that includes a lot of other monkeys you might have noticed already. So that's probably just a mistake on their part. Either way, it still has the nice purple projectile that I assume belongs to the Royal Monkey. So we're all good. In terms of damage, it's actually not doing a whole lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's going to be enough to beat Lunaires here, but yeah, that's not gonna look good for tier 5. Guess I just might as well get more pops while I can right now. So let me go ahead and buy back a tier 5 here so that I can just do as much damage as possible. Make sure to tech bot it as well. Also, don't counter the damage of the Deca shot too. I never showcased this one, at least right here. But yeah, this shoots a lot of rangs, and that average is pretty solid, 138k. 1 million pops already on the tier 5. And we're just about to kill the end of tier 4 here, I think. So yeah, now I'm gonna go ahead and sell you. And do you think it's worth going for Paragon totems too? Even though the money's a bit tight? Yeah, probably. I guess I'll sell your farm at the end anyway, so I'll have a lot of excess cash to work with. Alright, so now for a tier 5 setup. We got like a couple Paragon totems, a bunch of upgrades on the mini Robo Monkeys, and yeah, same amount of pop, so let's see now. At least degree 50 to 60 would be nice. Let her rip. 58, alright, very solid. I guess I would have liked for it to be 2 more degrees, but yeah, I didn't get enough pops. That's okay. I think for now we'll just play, and if the Royal Paragon struggles, which it probably will, since, well, you know, degree 36 didn't do anything to tier 4, we'll probably drop a second Paragon along the way, if there's time, and hopefully there's time. Otherwise, we're in a bit of pickle here. So yeah, first things first, gotta take care of all these random mobs that spawn. And actually, our damage is actually pretty good if we leave it on strong the entire time. Last time I was leaving on first because like there's so many random balloons that I need help dealing with, but I guess if we have damage, some sort of damage on the right side, we can probably take care of it. I don't know. Just gonna like a Sun Avatar or something like that. Just have it for DTs here. Or I guess what I could do is have it on first for like 1 second, and then switch it back to strong. And that basically just wipes out all the balloons. But okay, good to know that we don't need any more to solo, because I would have been very disappointed if, well, I needed a lot more help. Actually, hold that thought. We might actually need help because it's getting halfway. Remember the club map? It's symmetrical, so the halfway mark is right at that peak, and we're not quite halfway, so yeah, I'm gonna have to go for Paragon, I think. Another one. Hopefully I don't die to these bats here, too. Okay, we're good, we're good. I guess, well, it got nerfed, but I guess I can go for the, what do you call it, the Apex Plasma Master. Since this is Jeep's one, go ahead and sell everything. Alright, and I think we're ready to rip. Apex Plasma, this will be degree 30, hopefully in combination, in tandem, should be enough. Yeah, this might be a closer one than I would certainly like. Let's go ahead and do what else is good. How about a Mad real quick? As if that'll do much to 40 million, but probably the best option at this point, given I am pretty poor. Okay, it looked good initially, but I think I'm gonna have to restart it. The range is actually really tiny, so we did, like, 0 damage to the outskirts here. So, yeah. Reset. Okay, so this time I've heli shoved it to a bit higher of a spot, so there's less downtime over there. And, yeah, hoping that's enough. I think I'm gonna also go ahead and sell these farms a little bit early, just so I can get that Apex Plasma Master doing damage as soon as possible. So where is it? Yeah, this is a good spot. Go ahead. Okay, bad news this time. Our damage still doesn't seem like it's very good, but good news, it might just barely be enough. Finally passed halfway mark before it hit halfway, so I guess that's a good indication of something at least. Go ahead and move the Sewer Brittle over the right side, just for the extra damage. And yeah, I don't know, just trying to use every little penny I got at the moment, including not even selling the B Central just to make more money mid-round, but I think at this point, yeah, it's probably worth it to sell, just for an extra burst of damage. How about, yeah, Sun Avatar spam is pretty solid. I'll go ahead and get a bunch of these. Ultra Boost the Mad. Geraldo, I believe we have a Rejuve Potion to reset abilities. And yeah, I think this time we're looking a lot better. 2 more skulls to go. Still a giant loop left for Lunaires to cover. Go ahead and use another Rejuve Potion now that Homeland's off. That last skull might be a little bit scary since it spawns balloons a little bit forward, so we have to leave enough room, you know? Otherwise, we're not gonna have any time to kill the bads that come out from Lunaires, but I guess I can quickly switch things to first if I need to. Alright, here we go. Last part. I'm gonna switch this down to first. just to snipe those F-Bads. Come on, nice. And yeah, that was really annoying, but at least we did it. 42 million pops on the Royal Paragon, by the way. 5 million for Dark Monkey. Yeah, the nerf Dark Monkey really isn't that great anymore, but I guess this map doesn't have very good bounty curves, but either way, we did it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this return to the Royal Paragon mod, because I really enjoyed the first time, so I am glad I did an encore. Midnight Mansion Chimp. So the way I am planning to do this is with the newly buffed Gwendolin synergy. So if you missed the patch notes on it, basically Gwendolin got buffed so that she now gives attack speed and radius to fire towers. Namely, Ring of Fire, the Dragon's Breath, and the Signal Flare. 10% level 5 and 20% at level 18. So yeah, basically what I'm thinking is an Inferno Wing, Gwendolin, plus D-Breath combo to beat this advanced map here. I think how you start is probably a Dark Monkey attack. On top of that, Gwendolin did receive buffs to her Firestorm. There's now a bit more initial damage, but it's pretty negligible of a buff. The main thing is, again, the synergy. So hopefully that extra attack speed will make the late game easy. Now, as for round 7, doesn't seem like this works, so let's try that again. Give me a black border, by the way, so beat the entire run without losing a single time. Okay, I'm trying something different here. I guess Dark Monkey at this top spot seems to do better, because maybe that bottom left corner of that intersection misses a lot. So that seems to work just fine. Cool. Yeah, 102. I think for round 12, I'll just buy hot shots. I don't think I can survive without it until Gwendolin. 970 is a lot to save up for. Round 14, bruh. Yellow Balloon still gets past the hot shots. I don't know how. Probably just unlucky. But let's find a different start. So, since hot shots isn't working, I think we'll try the 130 Druid. Because this can help take down the strong balloons so that attack can kind of clean it up. And then plus the global range of the 130 could help if balloons end up leaking a bit. So yeah, see how bad... Nope. The Druid still does that. You know what? I'm gonna try a sniper. Because if it takes down the strong balloons for us, and if the fire isn't active on the vertical, then we can kind of snipe balloons at the exit. That's the hope. Okay, so round 15, we can snipe balloons at the exit, because the fire's gone, so let's see if anything gets through. That blue balloon's getting through, that's why we're gonna switch to first. Snipe that. This green. Nope. Okay, let's combine everything that I did. So we'll add Druid, a 0-1-0, right over on this corner. That's strong. Okay, so let's see. How we looking? That blue's leaking, but that's okay. I can snipe it with one shot, and there we go. Round 15's done. And if I beat 17, which I think I can, Gwendolin is ours. Alright, cool. There's the early game. I'm gonna leave a space here for maybe a Dragon's Breath later. That's why I'm putting Gwen a bit further away, like over here. How much is this, by the way? Okay, $200. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use Cocktail for this round, just to help us out, and we should afford this over here. Okay, cool. Now for camos, I can either upgrade this to 002 or buy night vision goggles. I would have gone for the Gwen Cocktail, but I used it on 22, so I think I'll just spend on this in case I want to go for Shrapnel Shot, maybe Moab later. We'll see. But cool, that's our early game done, so now let's get a Wall Fire on the corner next. Turn into a D-Breath. Right on that intersection. Lovely. So I think if the money allows for it, we'll go straight for the D-Breath. Before that, I think I need to go for Camo Detection. 022. Oh, by the way, in case you guys are wondering, why am I putting my defense on the right side instead of the left side? Because generally that's where the first one's spawn, so around 60-80, you can burst down the Zoom G the bad quicker. Well, the thing is, the right side is basically the same thing minus that. And I think if I'm going for the Inferno Ring strategy, I might take time to pop the bad layer, so therefore having it on the right side here will allow us to pop the insides. I'm thinking all the way, you know, into the late game here so far. Let's see if I can fit another wizard here. Nice. Fits right in. So this will be another Wall Fire into D-Breath, and for round 40, we have so much fire that this shouldn't be a problem. I'll just upgrade to Hot Shots, though, in case it is close. But use Cocktail here. And, okay, yeah, that just literally just one-shot the insides. Now, I do realize purples are still an issue, so I don't want to upgrade to Ring of Fire yet. Otherwise, everything over here will just die to purples. So, first off, Creator Scanner for the cam purples on 45 and 48. And then there are some on 62 as well, but I probably want the Ring of Fire by then, right? So, maybe what I'm thinking is, I don't know, an Arctic Wind. Because that synergizes pretty well with Inferno Ring. Slowing down, well, just in general, for the late game, the Arctic Wind buff is actually, like, quite significant. Being able to slow the ceramics down, so you can concentrate your damage better. If you're in Inferno Ring, you definitely want to go for the top path primary training, so no MIB. That's because the, right now, the Pierce of the Meteor is 1, and that kind of matters a lot, because we went, you know, bottom cross path. So you want to increase the Pierce of that Meteor with Alp buff, with P training. In fact, mind if I pre-place my towers right now, just to set up for the late game? So I was thinking an Ice Tower would be here. And I'm thinking I could probably go 3 deep breaths to save up for Inferno Ring, which I'll buy, like, in the late 70s, mid to late 70s. See the triple deep breath army here? Not even mobs get through. That's how OP it is. So, towers I want to buy before going for the I-Ring. I think I'll at least go for a 3/0/0 out buff on the Ring of Fire, which I'll upgrade now. And then I almost certainly need Ceram Slowdown for rounds like 63. So we'll buy Arctic Wind in case. I don't know if I want to go for more mob slowdown, like maybe a mob glue, just in case BFBs get a bit far, but we'll see first. Inferno Ring is only $49,000. F Moab? Oh. Is that a GG? I might have to use Firestorm here. Okay. Now I don't have one for round 63, but I think I'm fine. That round, I mean, we have so much group pump power with Ring of Fire. And Triple D Breath. Okay, that's not a problem. Okay, so seeing that F-Mobs got far, I feel like I should go for slowdown of Moabs. So, at minimum, Moab Blue. And then I'll buy a Peach training because it increases the range of all 3 of these towers. So, do you think there's some merit to maybe putting some debuffs on Strong? Because it feels like we have the balloon damage covered with Ring of Fire plus a Wind. So yeah, I'll do 2 of that one Strong. One of them still in first just in case. This is probably the hardest round, barring 79. So let's take it slow here. Let's see how these BFBs are first. Should I use Cocktail? I'll use it now, just to break down a bit faster. Okay. I don't want to use my level 10 ability, though. Not until, like, the very end, if needed. But I think it should be good, because, yeah, the left side isn't that bad, because it has a whole bend for the Ring of Fire to work with, but it was the right side that was what I was scared about. So I think we're honestly fine. Okay, that was easy. 76, also easy. Yep. Nice, okay. So no need for Phoenix or any of that. I don't think I'm planning on getting that for this game, even after I-Ring, but maybe it would help. I think it does increase, like, Gwen's buff does affect the tank speed of the Phoenix too, at least I would assume. You can see, by the way, the icon. There's 2 Gwen icons, one for the heated up buff, one for the permanent Gwen buff, which at the moment, 10% attack speed. Soon to be 20. Okay, so once I buy this, it's not a free win just yet. I have to be careful for DDTs, because, like, without the Meteor attacking all of them, they might kind of run through, so probably Sabo. Probably, upgrade to Blue Splatter, yeah, I'll do that. Alright, and look at that shred, guys. See how quickly those BFBs die? It's pretty, it's a pretty sight to see, that's all I can say. Meteors flying everywhere with their 4 Pierce right now. I think the Stim gives 2, and then P-Train gives another 1. Should I do P-Mentoring as well? You know what? I'm gonna do that, because more range helps, again, in case balloons are barely getting by. Let me see how ZMGs are first before I buy other stuff. They're fine. I don't know if I want to troll with an expertise. That might be a little bit too crazy. Actually, no, this wouldn't be a terrible option, because the Pierce is so much higher, I think it's like +5 or something, that the each meteor shot now has like 8 Pierce, which is insane. Maybe it actually might be worth going for it, just for the fun factor. Okay, precisely it's +3 Pierce and faster cooldowns, but I don't have any abilities, primary ability cooldowns right now. Well, I better decide what I want to do soon. Here are DTs, by the way. You know what, though? Just for fun factor, I think I'm just gonna do it. I did it. I bought it, guys. The thing is, the main attack also helps for DTs too. I will get a Sabo though, after the fact. Now, what else should I buy? I think I'll buy a more press, just to slow other balloons down. Oh yeah, don't forget too, they're free, so I'm saving like $1,000 just from these 4 upgrades, so that's pretty cool. Also, there's max level Gwen. So we have level 20, so 20% attack speed permanently. See how fast this Inferno Ring is shooting. And yeah, look at those constant meteors. There's like multiple of them at the same time because they're not running out of Pierce. Pretty fun synergy. I'm just gonna carefully watch this round. See if I can flex with not using Sabo. And before I lose because I don't use Sabo. But just look. That meteor damage. I think meteor is one-shotting every DT that comes in. So, okay, it looks like buying this wasn't a bad choice at all. Easy round. It would be really funny if I went for an Overclock too, to make the Inferno Ring even stronger. So, let me just see where the money's at after this round. Because as you see right now, these rounds are pretty much a cakewalk at the moment. Yeah, 96 is generally a good indicator for how 98's gonna go, and not, like, 100%, but that was pretty easy. I'm gonna go for it. Let's Giga buff that Inferno Ring, because why not? We have the funds to do that. So let's make sure I'm buffing the right one. So it's this one in the top right. So now we have, you know, almost twice the amount of meteors, and the main attack speed is just insane. And I'll just buy a 3rd Mole Press in the middle of the 98, and let's just go. No Shattering Shells, because we don't need it. Just watch the damage go, guys. I'm gonna use Sabo immediately, because I'm gonna hope I have it up for the start of 99. Anyways. So, yeah, Gwen Cocktail. Mole Press number 3. And do you see how quickly the eye ring shreds the right side of that map? My goodness. It sure is making Chimps mode look easy. And now for 99. Oh, I don't have Sabo, but that's fine. Maybe before it's not, but the thing is, the meteor has 1,000 damage, so it should one-shot the FDTs. Or at least close to. Let's watch carefully. Yeah, they're pretty much getting one shot. Okay. That pink balloon almost killed my run. We're good, though. Can I afford Spike Storm with the rest of my money? No, I can't. Okay. I think Sticky Bomb is barely affordable. Not even a Ninja Discipline. This does 500 damage per explosion, so it's pretty good. Now, let me play. And, yeah, this thing does 1,000 per meteor attack, so just watch. With the Overclock, it's shooting so often. There's 4,000 damage, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. I don't know if it's actually fast enough, though, before it exits, please. It would be very disappointing if it did not pop in time. Come on. Faster, faster, faster. I'll Sabo immediately when it pops. Wait, now. Overclock. The eye ring. And okay, we're fine. We're fine. I definitely probably should go with Spike Storm earlier, though. Just seeing how that was. Bit overconfident, but yeah. That's why you put it on the right side. And GG. Easy black border for a Midnight Mansion. In an advanced map. How many pops on the eye ring? 1.2 million. Not bad. Not bad. I remember doing a fire challenge like years ago and struggling, so again, power creep. It's crazy that, you know, fire strategies are pretty legitimate now, seeing how simple that this run was. Pretty much the hardest part was, yeah, that early game. But yeah, GG's. Alright, today we're going to see what an Alchemist Paragon looks like in the form of this mod here. So this mod is called Hyper Science. Description. After years of experiments, trials and errors, and decades of monkey knowledge, the perfect potions are now upon us. So of course, first off, shouts out to Johnny Boy for turning this Alchemist Paragon to life, as well as Tis is Real Now for the portrait and icon. Now to afford that Paragon, we're going to need a small loan of $1.2 million, so that's why we're doing a decent amount of farming here on this boss. The goal hopefully is to farm hard enough to be able to afford the Wizard Paragon, or sorry, the Alchemist Paragon by tier 3. It is also easy prices, so it's technically a little bit under 1.2 million, so it should definitely be affordable given how much I have currently on round 56. Now, I'm probably not the only one that's pretty excited to see what the Alchemist Paragon has in store, because, well, a lot of people have this idea that the Alchemist Paragon can buff other Paragons, so we'll see if that's true for this one. But even if not, having a support Paragon would be pretty interesting, rather than, you know, the ones that Currently, what we have that would just do straight damage. Now for tier 2 here, don't mind if I just do the usual, I think, Mad into probably Attack Zone for after we get rid of the primary layer. Yeah, we literally make 6k, over 6k around at this point, so we pretty much got the Mad instantly. Nice. Let's go for Attack Zone now. So I'm just going to throw a Brittle on top of this. It should be pretty much GG easy for tier 2. Actually, I lied. Why are those Rock Balloons still going? Fine, let me just drop an Avatar Wrath there. But I guess while we're chilling at tier 2 here, can I take a moment to talk about just how rough getting a high degree on the Alchemist would be? Because you can't really use it for damage unless you want to go with Total Transformation, which actually does a decent amount of damage if you, like, transform Druids and all that. And that's really only one path, because you're obviously not going to use BMA to lose you money to the non-balloons, right? And then Perm Brew obviously doesn't give you any damage. And the worst thing, too, is that Let's Gold doesn't even add to your money count, so I don't even think that, you know, again, adds to your degree. So all in all, pretty unfortunate news. Also, I have no idea why Attack Zone isn't doing any damage to this. Doesn't the Esprit give, you know, lead popping? This is a little bit strange, isn't it? Oh well, we already are about to get rid of the military layer, so Mad should be back up and working again. Cool. Alright, there goes our tier 2 Dread Balloon pretty easily. We'll sell Mad to, well, I can't really farm anymore, but I guess I could keep doing overclocks. But we're actually really close already to the 1 million required. So I think I can probably take it chill now in terms of the farming game. You know, the Alchemist Paragon isn't quite as expensive as some other Paragons in this Paragon pack, that's for sure. But I guess I'll try to squeeze in some pops, I guess. So here, let's get a Total Transformation. Yeah, let's just say the Steel Monkey Paragon prepared us pretty well for this moment, so I guess we'll just slowly start to fill in the cracks with the Alchemist that I need to get to maximize the degree. So that's 100 tiers and 250k worth of tier 4s. That's gonna take a while. How much does a Transform Tonic cost? About, like, close to 10k. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought. I can probably fit 25 of these in the cracks. There's a good amount of open space left. Yeah, I went a little bit overkill in the farming, alright. We got all the Alchemists and the money for it with, like, 5 rounds to spare. But I guess I could use the money for, like, other Paragons. Because, again, I don't expect that the Alchemist Paragon will be strong enough to solo, like, all 5. Oh, well, I can't, obviously, because there's a magic immunity. So, in a way, that's perfect for Alchemist, because that forces us to use, well, multiple towers, since you usually do want to get something else. Let's clear the middle to start. I'll get this BMA to return the Alch Paragon. And I guess let's do it. Actually, hang on, before that, I have so much money, I can just get level 20 draw, though. I should have done this earlier, by the way, but let's squeeze out 2 more totems, and let's go now. Hyper Science activated, degree 34. So first things first, let's clear the map, or at least the middle section, because I do want to see everything that's got going on for it, and let's drop, like, 5 Dark Monkeys, or, sorry, Druids. Maybe more, but we'll see, like, how many the ability transforms, because as you see, this is the ability. I don't know yet how many monkeys it transforms, or if you need only tier 3 or tier 4 works, but let's just go. And as you can see, this thing throws potions. Is that right? It's actually kind of hard to tell. Let me just get rid of the monkey alps too. Okay, but where's the alp buff? Am I seeing it? There should be a perm. Oh yeah, there is. Okay, what's... Well, you can see that this flavor traits has an absolutely massive range, so it is throwing buffs on the towers, just very slowly, because there's a lot of towers around this thing. I guess since it's tier 3, low-key, just the Alchemist Paragon alone can probably take it down, but let's use the ability, alright? And it crashed, I think. Yeah, not sure what was causing that. Let's try again, though. I got rid of, like, the other towers that aren't the Druids. I'll get rid of the Ultra Boost, too. Screw it. Again, please don't crash. Please don't crash. It is not crashing. Good. So, yeah, it was probably one of the other towers. Maybe it was a submarine. It can transform. Also, we hit the magic immunity, so let's get Attack Zone real quick, alright? For the Rock Balloons here. Let's see if the Alch buff, the Perm Brew buff, is good enough to deal with it alone. Come on. Take a little Rock Balloon damage, by the way. Or rather, the Attack Zone damage. It's pretty good, but I need more. Hang on. Let's get a Radium here. Rock Balloon's got hands, guys. Rock Balloon's got hands. I probably should just do... You know what? Let's just do a Dark Paragon. As I said, I did want to see if the buff works on it. So now is probably a good time to quickly get it. And try to clean up, yeah, everything over here. I don't know, I have my doubts that it'll buff. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna buff it right now. I kind of suspected that, because maybe the capabilities aren't there right now that, you know, Paragons can buff other Paragons. Like, it's probably hard-coded that you can't buff it, so I don't know if there's a mod or if mod is capable of that, but anyways, GG easy. Let's just get rid of the other towers now. And now without the boss, you can kind of see more of what this Alch boy does. He throws, well, potions for damage. Also, tons of BMAs. Yeah, like, BMAs constantly. Like, they turn a Revelance avoid the main potion even damages it, and I assume those throw in some rubber to gold potions too. Hard to tell, but I think that's normally what you'd expect from a Paragon. Now, I also want to test the damage that this buff gives, so let's try Sniper and see how much extra damage it gets. 7, so that's a +5, I think. Alright, it's kind of like a free remote buff to, you know, all your towers. Can it perma-brew, or can it Alchemists? Now, it looks like it's coded as, like, the same as Alch buff, which, yeah, I guess if it didn't work on Paragons, makes sense it wouldn't work on the Alchemist itself. Good to know. Alright, now is also a good time to test. I did see it turned the tier 4 towers into mini monsters. Let's see how many. Okay, it transforms 10 at least. Damage is pretty nutty though, not gonna lie. Also, is it just me or is this cooldown incredibly slow? I feel like I last activated like 5 rounds ago, and we still don't have it up. I would assume this doesn't work. Just testing. Nope. So, seeing as this thing cannot buff other Paragons, I feel like I should just not get Paragons. We'll just try to use the perma buff on the Paragon here to damage the magic layer. So, first things first, let's use the ability to see if it can affect 20. Yeah, even 20 then. Also, look at that damage. Okay, I see why that cooldown's so long now. Sheesh. Also, whoa, we just cheesed it. Right, because these things are, military, technically. For some reason, I was expecting that it wouldn't work because all of them would turn magic, but it's not the case. We just literally plowed through Tier 4 Dreadbloom, just like that. Kind of leads me to believe that Tier 5 will also be shred just as easily. Also, once you're outbuffing other towers then, I'm just gonna keep trying. Yeah, it feels like it outbuffs literally every tower on screen. We have up to like 30 towers now. Not gonna lie, it would be pretty broken if there was no cap. I'm gonna do this just one time though. I would expect there to be just a giant leg split the moment I use this, if it affects everything, so let's do it. Activate. And they actually have global range too. Yeah, I don't think Tier 5 Dreadbloom has a shot anymore, guys. Holy. Let me just see how much percent of the uptime this is compared to the total cooldown. It's about, that's like 15%. Well, I guess that's to make up the fact that you can't buff other Paragons. Also, I forgot if I tested this yet, but let's get a Tier 5 too to see if it will also transform T5s. So you guys ready to see Dreadbloom Destruction? Well, here we go. This is only degree 34 at that too. Looks like it does not transform the Tier 5. Only up to Tier 4. After we get Primary through, it should actually be faster because I had so many Dart Monkeys. Let's take a look at the DPS of each of them. Holy crap. That's 2,000. Yeah, we're gonna kill Elite Dreadbloom Tier 5 with one ability. Well, again, nobody said this was balanced, so, yeah. GG, I guess. New ranked boss meta just dropped. Now, because we can't continue boss games, even modded ones, we're gonna jump to a real game now. Picking back where we left off with the degree 34, just to see, like, how far it can survive beating random rounds here. Unsurprisingly, Mr. Alch Paragon can basically beat everything that's not a bad. DATs, I guess, is a little bit of a struggle because of the very fast speed. Also, because of the rapid BMA potion, this thing is going to steal, like, all the pops late game. Assuming this works the same way as, like, the potential real Alchemist Paragon when it comes out. Let's just take a look at the DPS, though. Yeah, single target bad's not very good. Not very good for, like, a Paragon, I mean, but it's actually going to be enough to, I think, pop it. Or if not pop it, then pretty close. We'll use, a total transformation cleanup, and there we go. Easy. Easy cleanup. But yeah, about the pop ceiling, just thought I'd mention that because that isn't necessarily an indicator of how OP the tower is late game, because I remember when I did some late game runs not too long ago, where, you know, BMA outclassed or outpopped other Paragons. Everyone's like, wow, BMA is OP, but if it doesn't do any damage to bads, then it's really just a support option. And the pop count, you know, is a bit misrepresentative. Because, like, look here, this thing is going to die to DDTs. Well, in that case, I guess it's time to upgrade it to degree 100 just by using a mod here. The thing is, though, I don't know if it's going to be any more reliable because the problem is the potion speed. It has the same problem as BMA, where DDTs are too fast that it ends up, you know, whiffing. Because by the time the potion lands, it would have already, you know, the Ds would have already left spies. See, yep. Same problem arises. Anyways, I assume with faster, again, higher degrees, we have faster cooldowns and things. Yep, that's a little bit less downtime on our ability there, but I'm pretty sure, again, that we will die to this DDT here. Or if not that, then definitely that Ceram. Okay, that was really close. I think what's happening is that the damage potion is hitting it before the BMA has a chance to one-shot, which actually kind of ruins things. Yeah, I'm dead. I'm dead again. Alright, one last continue. I just added a Bloom Crush so that we don't die to DDTs. We're probably dead to these bats at this point, yeah? Yeah, okay. Actually, I want to do one more test here. Because, as you saw, that the ability does, like, insane amounts of damage, we kind of have to at least see what would happen, or how far we would make it, if we filled up, I would say, most of the map. Like, how about that? And we'll give a test on round 200 here. Given that this thing probably doesn't have 40 million HP like Dread Balloon, it should be an instant kill, yeah. I knew 200 was too easy for it. Alright, quickly, let's jump to 300. Yep, 300 still good. And unsurprisingly, we're dead again because of the lack of cooldown. Luckily, continues to reset ability, so that's good. 500. How much balance would you like? Yes. I do like my Alchemist Paragon with a healthy dose of 100k DPS on each individual Dart Monkey. Multiply that by probably 100, if not more, if I were to fill up every inch of the space. And one more 500 Monkey sacrifice later. This will be the final sacrifice. Final test, around 1,000. Let's see if we can truly break the game here. And damn, it looks like round 1,000's too much. Who would have thunk it? I'm not sure what the math is on these F-bats, but they have to have, like, more HP than tier 5 elites at this point. Yeah, that's a rip. Alright, well, that was the Alchemist Paragon, folks. Hope you enjoyed. I'm not quite sure if the real Alchemist Paragon will actually survive 500 plus rounds, but this was a good look into seeing all the fun things it can do, because this does check out all the boxes of a 5/5 Alchemist, that's for sure. But that's it for now. Have you guys ever wondered what a Druid Paragon would look like? Well, say no more, because this mod adds it. It's called Primordial King, the source of all Druid magic, more powerful than any other. And clocking in a casual cost of $2 million, I expect this thing to probably beat Elite Lich, so that's what we're going to try out. Once again, shouts out to Johnny Boy for making the mod. You know, the great thing about the Druid Paragon is that when it comes out, it'll be, like, absolutely perfect bosses, because for tier 2, you can get a lot of pops on Avatar Wrath, which is great against Lich because of life-draining reasons, and assuming you can keep this, like, between tier 2 and tier 3, then yeah, that's a nice head start on the pops. Now, I only have 4 stacks because I suck at placing Druids in, or rather, I filled in all the remaining space with farms, so we'll just see if that's enough for now. You know, I'm not quite sure we have enough money here. I need more farms. And yeah, looking at this, I don't think I really need, yeah, 5 stacks. This is gonna beat it very easily. So, nice. And this just came to mind too, like, as for why the Druid would be so cracked, the Druid Paragon. We can do Jungler's Bounties too, to make money. Hell, let's just do Spirit of the Force too, to get out of the way. Yeah, this will be one of the easiest Paragons to get pops on, because it just does it all, really. I guess instead of doing Overclocks, I'll just get more money with Jungler's Bounties. Because yeah, the way it stands, we're definitely going to be able to afford the Paragon by tier 3. So we'll try to milk as many degrees as we can. Are we there yet? Yes, we are. Now, somebody remind me to replace my Banana Central so that I can actually Ultra Boost it without Lich taking buffs away. Actually, I can just do that right now. Sure, we'll relocate it over here, give it a Monkey City. And yeah, I really can't be bothered to overclock every beer wrap, so again, we're doing the Jungler's Bounty route. And right, not only that, but already having dropped these Jungler's Bounties means I don't have to spam Druids anymore to, like, when I eventually get the Paragon up. This is just so nice and easy. I love it. Like, why don't all towers just have, like, a nice money-making tower path and a nice damage path? Are they stupid? I think they are. Alright, I think I filled in every possible inch with Druids. Have I? Actually, one more. I think I should just get rid of these popless too, while I'm already at it. More money. I also should be doing range. I forgot that this, well, does have a chance of getting you more money if it's in range of more farms. Also, they did this with snipers, but I would love it for Druids too. If you use the Spirit of Force ability, it just activates all the other Jungler's Bounties abilities for you, because it's, I mean, they're basically like the sniper. It's just money-making abilities. Would be a nice quality of life if you ask me, and Ninja if you're watching this. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And last but not least, we'll add Druids on the frozen water, and that's it. If we can't get $500,000 in 5 rounds, then that's okay. We can wait a little bit longer into tier 3, but money should be there. It's looking good. Let's take a look at each individual druid. Yeah, each one's like made like 2k. I mean, it's not a lot, but when you add up 40 of them, that's 80k, which equates to about 320k with the pops in terms of power. Again, rule of thumb is that for every 1 cash you make equals to 4 pops when we are trying to tally the amount of degrees we get, because 60.2 million is the max pops. So you need 4 million cash generated. I know 80% of you watching probably already knew that, but, you know, it's always nice to help out the other 20%. Shout out for the 20% that I didn't know. Because, yeah, I realized that some of my videos that I do some things that might be hard for newer players to understand why I'm doing that. Or rather, specific stats that, of course, new players won't know. Anyways, money is there, but I am just going to play out tier 3 because Lich is too far anyways. I'm super greedy. I'm just going to squeeze out like a little bit extra cash here if I can. If I use to call more jungles bounties. Let's just clear the map though, or clear the BRFs. So we can have a clear vision of our lovely Druid Paragon that's about to come. Guys, the Primordial King is about to come. Phrasing. Okay, let's just go. Actually, before that, I always keep forgetting that I have so much money, I can just do 2 extra totems, and I think we're good now. Let's get the Primordial King. Degree, I think it was 41, nice. So let's see. It spawns out some nice retextured vines. I love the purple and white theme. And unsurprisingly, it is beating tier 3 very easily. If this was real in a rank boss, then yeah, this would be the meta for sure. Actually, I think NG goes faster than that, but you know what I mean. So first off, let's test. Yes, this does give Pautless stacks. All right, nice to know. Now, we gotta ask ourselves, does it... Oh, wait, why is it... There's a buff being taken away. It might be because it's a bug. Sometimes there's a bug with modded towers where it'll take away... Yeah, it's taken away the buff. That's interesting. Also, this thing made 20k in how many rounds? Well, I guess we'll see after the end of this round, but that's nice. It's got my seal of approval. It looks like it's got every Druid path incorporated. It is indeed a true 5/5 tower. There is not really much more you can ask for, really. Now, let me just see... Oh, that's actually really cool. If I drop it, you see, there's like an animation that basically is like a bunch of Reju potions, or sorry, not Reju potions, but Alch potions being thrown to show that it has a buff. That's why it's getting buff taken away. Not a bug. It's just because it's coded as like an Alch buff, a permanent Alch buff. It looks like it basically has infinite buff giving capabilities. Now, I wish I could see how much damage it actually does, but yeah, we're beating balloons too easily with our Spear of the Forest Bramble attack. Speaking of the Bramble attack, I wonder if... No, it cannot. It does not have the ability to, you know, one-shot ZMGs. DPS looks like about 100. Pretty low for a Paragon, not gonna lie. Yeah, it doesn't, what do you call it? Bramble Moabs. Only Cerams. I guess who cares about the Bramble attack being weak when you literally have the Thorn Sire about to come. Or the Superstorm. And yeah, it looks like we got ourselves about 10k per round. Now, I kind of wonder, it's hard to test because I don't have anything to lose me lives, but I do wonder whether or not this thing gets faster. I sold it, but that's okay. We can always go back. But yeah, as I was saying, I noticed that this thing doesn't gain you lives. Like, the ability's gone. You only get the passive 10k now, but you don't get any lives. But that makes sense. If you were to lose lives, then that ends up, you know, getting you the extra attack speed. Sadly, there is no way to know its true power anymore because it's just too strong for its own good. The only way maybe would be if... I don't know if it applies from Avatar Path into the, the Paragon, but I could see that being the, one of the few ways. Again, if you don't have a Zealy. Anyways, Tier 4 Elite Lich is being taken down nice and easily. I think out of all the Magic Paragons I've tested so far, the modded ones, this one seems fairly balanced. Maybe the damage is a little bit overtuned, but... I mean, it is Avatar Round, actually. This thing should be expected to do insane amounts of damage. Yeah, it's like Ace Paragon levels, and it's like twice the cost. That makes sense. Well, GG easy, I guess. Alright, now time for Tier 5. You know, if this thing did a little bit less damage, we actually could lose lives, because, well, Lich. So hopefully this thing doesn't, like, kill it as fast, please. Give us a chance to get stronger, will ya? Nope. It's too weak, guys. The Lich Soul is too weak. You don't hear that every day, do ya? Yeah, total DPS looks like about 250,000. Yeah, I stand corrected. This will actually be even stronger than the Ace Paragon, given how this is going. Like, if it was equal degrees. All in all, should make for an easy kill. Yep. Only took 4 rounds, and Elite Lich is dead. Easy. Now, apparently, even Elite bosses couldn't even do this Paragon justice, so now we're gonna jump into deep free play to see. Also, funny looking visual bug. We still have the remnants of the normal Spirit of the Forest over here. Yeah, this time I also have a Z-Leaf, so we can actually lose a couple lives here and there. Actually, only get level 7 because it loses us 10 lives. Kinda curious to see what this thing will die to. Obviously, not DDTs. Pretty much has to be a bad and lacking DPS. Let's see. Nope, not even close to 140 there. Nice try, F-bad. I think we're also gonna be 200. I don't think there's enough rounds of Challenge Editor here, guys, to see justice. The reason why it's not 300, by the way, that's max Challenge Editor, is because I'm on my alt count, and somehow my max round's only 250. It actually is like 2,000 because of mods, but yeah, sometimes when you play around too much in mods, you end up having things really bug out. I think at one point, the highest round dropped to like 100, so I couldn't even test over around 100. Funny how that works sometimes. Well, we can always just change the round to above 200 or 250. Also, can I take by my words what I said earlier? I don't know if this is quite balanced, if it can actually be around 300. As degree 41 only, mind you. Around 300 is pretty much no problem. We gotta go higher. 350. Okay, finally it's fallen behind. So now would be a good time to see... well, I don't know if 10% will make a difference with the totem, because I can only use 10 at a time, but we can always try. So let's see, we can even do some Barber Cell action. So let's sell Zealy. Let's get back level 7. And then wait for totem again. I feel like a 10% damage bonus should be noticeable, right? It actually does look a little bit better, but evidently it's a little bit too late. Okay, here's a simple solution, everybody. 5% ability cooldowns. I mean, we got Challenge Editor for a reason, right? So let's just spam 10 totems, and then it will spawn 350. Assuming this does work the same as Druids, then yes, it should be max power now. Let's see if there's any difference. Yay or nay? If there is a difference, it's actually not as big as I thought, because there's a good chance we still are dead. I think Tornado can blow back in time, or no? Close. I want to say it makes a difference, but it's kind of hard to tell, actually. Well, either way, I've seen enough. I will go to 300. Let me just first test how much extra damage this Druid gets. It's a base 000, by the way. That looks like 30 damage per shot. So that's a damage buff, I think. A plus 5 damage buff, to be exact. So this thing now does 6 damage each with its thorns. Fairly nice buff. This is not to mention the extra attack speed. Oh, I was going to try to compare, but it looks like it's a global buff, right? Yeah. Put Druid anywhere on the map, and it'll throw it. Not gonna lie, it's kind of satisfying. Seeing the Druid throw like that, like, let's play around a little bit. Feel like a child again, but, I mean, it's fun. Okay, I think that's enough. Let's go for the 300 now. Alright, so let's see if we can get revenge on round 350 now. Alright, definitely looks like we can. I'm surprised the damage actually isn't much higher than I expected, because, I mean, 4100 is a huge gap. Looks like it's enough to be around 350 though, so that's pretty much all that needs to be said. Shall we up it to 400 now? I think so. I should probably try to extend my life by putting on Strong too. There's a small chance he'll leak DDTs without the Super Storm, but I think there's enough of them that one of them will be able to catch it, right? Unfortunately, it looks like degree around 400 is just too much, even for the 300 here. But I mean, even with a failure, that's still doing like 3 million DPS. Nothing to scoff at there. So yeah, that's the Druid Paragon mod. I think it checks all the boxes, as for what a Paragon would be. In fact, maybe a little bit too on the nose. Because seeing what they did with the Magus, Ninja Kiwi, adding like a Metamorphosis ability, that would probably be something they would want to do with future Paragons to spice it up so that it's not just a pure damage one, like, for the most part, this Druid is. Now let me know your thoughts on this down below. And once again, shouts out to the creator, Johnny Boy, for making this.